How do you like the conference and the venue and so on, the presentations, the level?
I think it's been a lovely conference so far. The venue is fantastic. You know, it's just wonderful presenting in a venue which is designed to give presentations in. And obviously it's a cinema, but it's a similar kind of thing, and it just works really well. And the house lights are turned up a bit, so you can see the audience and you can connect with them. It's just a fantastic place to do a talk in. The conference itself, the content has been really interesting, some excellent speakers, you know, and some subjects that we don't often talk about. You know, like this morning's keynote about touch and how that can work across countries and across the globe, and haptic touch and all that. It's kind of stuff that goes straight over my head, but I'm interested in it, and I'm glad other people are working on it that maybe have bigger brains than I do.
And how about Polish speakers? Have you managed to hear any Polish presentations?
I heard some Polish presentations through the magic of your translator, who did a fantastic job. Don't tell my fiance, but I think that if she was available, I'd like to marry her. It's been absolutely wonderful listening to. It's very difficult to translate technical subjects, and she's done a fantastic job. And I heard two very good presentations, one on Windows Mobile and designing an app within 14 days. That sounded a real challenge, and it was good to hear of the challenges. And then following that up with a talk on culture and how that across the world and how that affects user interfaces. So it's been a really interesting morning, and I'm glad the conference is 2 days, so I got another 1.5, and I can relax. I've done my talk, so I can relax, and I've got another day and a half to enjoy.
I'm glad to hear that. And moving to your work, how do you evaluate it? Do you use any KPIs? So how does it look like?
If the client's not punching me, I'm thinking that I'm doing a good job. But more seriously, how you measure success is something that I don't have a stock answer for, because I define it at the start of every project, working with the stakeholders. And there's different types of success. There's success required for the project overall, and then there's the success, how that's measured by your most important stakeholder. They might be measuring success in a different way. So you might have different success metrics, some that are formal, some that are informal. So what those metrics are will depend on the specifics of the project. So I try to work it out with every project.
Okay, I see. And the last question, but not least, are there any books you recently read that you would like to recommend to our participants?
I think that there are a lot of really good UX books out there. You know, Jay Boogie's Lean UX book is a recent book. I haven't read it yet, but I'm told it's very good. It's on my ever-growing pile of books to read. There are books like the Polar Bear book, which is an O'Reilly book on information architecture by Louis Rosenfeld and Peter Morville. That's a fantastic book. They're not going to do a new edition. Somebody needs to, but even though it's a few years old now, it's still a really valuable book. So there's books like that, but what I'm reading more is books like this, which these have literally come out of my case, and so they're my plain reading. This is Persuasion by James Borg. And this is something that we don't talk about in the UX world. We don't talk about how to persuade people to implement our designs. So I think it's important to know this stuff. And also these books recommended by Whitney Hess and other UX people, Getting Past No and Building Agreement, Use Emotions as you negotiate. These one is by William Ury, the other one by Roger Fisher and Daniel Shapiro. They're both follow-ups to quite a famous book called Getting TS, which again is about negotiation. And that's what we often find that we do, I think, in UX projects, is we're negotiating to get our design implemented. So I think read books like this as well as really good UX books.